This moment is incredible. I want to thank God, my family, friends, our organization. I am just here representing your dreams, the Regas family, and everyone at corporate that made this moment possible. A few weeks ago, I had the honor of having breakfast with Ron Reynolds in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. During breakfast, he stopped and looked at me, and he said, "Stephanie, what would your life look like without AdvoCare?" Tears welled up in my eyes, and I looked back at him, and I said, 3 years ago, my high school cheerleading coach shared AdvoCare with me. I was skeptical, I was a recent grad, and my eyes weren't open to the opportunity. A few months later, she was very persistent, and she took the time to follow up with me. And because she did, my life looks a whole lot different today. She shared the discount opportunity with me, and thank goodness she did. I was $150,000 in student loan debt. I jumped on board, I grabbed my sister with me, she didn't have a choice. I posted a status on social media, got a few family and friends, and a couple days later, Shannon called me and said, "Steph, you've reached advisor." I said, "Awesome, what's that?" A couple weeks later, I was on my PNC bank account, paying a student loan, of course, $1,500 that month, when I saw a check deposited from AdvoCare for $719. That was a light bulb moment for me. For the next year, I got paid at the silver leadership level, except I started following Steph's system, not the success system. Shannon reached back out and reeled me back in, and she said, "Steph, you have to take another look at AdvoCare. Attend AdvoNation with me." At AdvoNation, I felt AdvoCare, just as you're feeling it right now. I saw a couple on stage that inspired me, and I saw myself in them. I went back to State College, I planted my flag, and I promised myself that I would help anyone that I came close with. And that's exactly what I did. I started using my 1-hour lunch break, and I started writing down my goals and helping other people write down their goals and accomplish them, leading them to their full potential. In 90 days, I went from silver to 6-star ruby. I definitely got to work. I want to take a minute and introduce you to my family. And I'm going to start with my mom, Kim. My mom always says, if you dream it, you can do it. And be the little train. I think I can, I think I can. When the destined incentive trip was posted, I had a negative thought run through my mind. Someone like you can't earn a trip like that. And then I remembered my mom who was the caretaker for my grandmother, my mom who's always worked multiple jobs to care for us, and I tied my mom to that destined trip. When it was posted, I was the train, and I went on that trip with my mom, and my favorite memory was something so simple. It was just watching her get a suntan and relax. The next trip was to the Caribbean. And my mom and I had so much fun in Florida that I wanted to take her with me on the cruise. You see, just a few weeks before that cruise, I received a call at midnight that my mom, night shift nurse, was walking back to her car and was struck in the crosswalk by a pickup truck. She flew over 30 feet and she nearly died. That's when I understood time. I got in my car, I drove 3 hours home. I didn't have to ask for paid time off. I spent time with my mom. I called the corporate office to let them know that my mom wouldn't be able to attend the trip, And they said, Steph, take your sister. She deserves to go. When my sister and I were on that trip, corporate contacted my mom and said, Kim, when you're healthy enough, that flight credit is yours. Go wherever you want and enjoy it. That is the spirit of AdvoCare. That is the spirit of Charlie Reagan. My mom did use that flight credit just weeks ago to fly to Florida to give care to a family friend who was given 7 to 10 days to live. She was able to bring comfort with her medical background, and that family will never forget that time. My sister, Samantha, has struggled with her weight her whole life. She was the first person to do the 24-day challenge with me. And when you watch your little sister lose 17 pounds in 24 days and buy a pair of shorts and feel confident, you start telling people. My sister and I had so much fun in the Caribbean. We swam, we zip-lined, and we ate them out of house and home. Didn't we, Samantha? My dad, Kevin, my dad is a mechanic. He was very skeptical about AdvoCare. Kicked and screamed to do a cleanse because he didn't want to have to buy new hunting clothes. He lost 14 pounds in 10 days. When the Jackson Hole trip was released, I knew I had to take my dad. See, from the Destined trip to Jackson Hole, my belief grew. I could see the mountains before I was even there. One of my favorite memories was driving home. My dad's a mechanic, opening up the big garage doors in his work, and I walked in and he looked at me. And I pulled out a gift card to Cabela's and I said, Dad, you might need this. We're going to Jackson Hole. Aside from meeting so many incredible people in Jackson Hole, my favorite memory was sitting on a rock and watching my dad fish. We truly enjoyed our time together. Finally, my fiance, Derek. Derek is a full-time engineer. He's a Ruby leader in our organization, and he's believed in me from the start. When the Hawaii trip was released, one word came to mind, Ohana. It means family. No one is left behind. The Hawaii trip will be our honeymoon. 3 months from today, I will marry my best friend. My grandmother, who's in the picture, helped me plan our wedding. And the best part of my whole journey since I started 3 years ago was having the opportunity to spend the extra time with my grandmother. She passed away on Mother's Day. Though she won't be at my wedding, she picked out my dress, she picked out the barn that's in the photo, and I know she'll be there that day. The greatest gift is that Derek and I have the opportunity to pay for our wedding in full, to give that gift to our parents. I want to end with just one final story. I was chosen to speak for Ladies Alive in Philadelphia, and the Fuss ladies do not have great luck with pickup trucks, because last summer, I was in a bad accident. A pickup truck stopped dead in front of me on the highway. My car went right underneath. Since then, I've been a little bit anxious to drive. On my way back from rehearsal, bumper-to-bumper traffic in Philadelphia, I received a call that through the x-rays, they found thyroid cancer in my mom. The next day, driving in to speak, I knew I had to deliver a powerful message, but I was uneasy and I was just praying for a sign. Up in the distance, I saw a big truck broken down, and I decided to look a little bit deeper, even though it made me nervous. And on the back of the truck, it read, "You are destined for greatness." I'll never forget that. I want you to remember, I think I can, I think I can, I know I can. Under bright lights, rising stars shine so bright, but they need darkness to shine. You are meant for so much more. Life is meant to be lived on purpose and with purpose. You're destined for greatness. Thank you so much.